Hi everybody, Scott here. I am both a counsellor and an MBTI practitioner. If you'd like to find out more, please visit my website. The link will be at the top of this video, or there'll be a link in the description. In this video we're going to look at the concept of the old soul and its correlation with personality type. So the old soul being those that ask deep questions, seekers of truth, sort of drawn to the sort of like the invisible, what's not seen, understanding deep concepts, and basically drawn to the unseen world as opposed to what we see. I think there is a misconception that old soul type personalities are more on the intuitive than the sensor side. There might be a correlation between intuition and people identifying as old souls. However, I don't think it's like an exclusive correlation, in that people that lean towards the sensor type, the sensor preference, aren't able or can't be old souls. I think the old soul characteristics I think are sort of peppered throughout the personality types. All 16 types can have that old soul spirit, if you like, the characteristics of the old soul. So I think it's probably important for us to get away from this idea that only intuitives prefer the deep and senses prefer to be on the surface, the concrete, the five senses. I think that's a limited scope and way of seeing things. So I have a sense that there are a lot of senses out there that are old souls that are being missed, being overlooked because they're senses. And I think there might be senses that don't know that they're old souls because maybe they haven't found someone that's engaged with them on that deeper level for them to even discover it in themselves. So I think there could be a lot of undiscovered old soul senses out there. And I think in regards to relationships, I think this is a good thing to be aware of, that there's that saying, the sensor intuitive divide, and I think this is one way to bridge that divide, is kind of eliminating a misconception that sensors aren't able to go to the deep, that they aren't able to they're not drawn to the deep, they're not interested in deeper, more abstract ways of thinking. So I think for intuitives looking for relationship, don't necessarily overlook a sensor type personality, because you may actually overlook a fellow old soul. I think one of the reasons for this misconception, or this lack of awareness of the old soul sensor, is that intuitives, I think, are more active in their pursuit of seeking the deep, if you like. Maybe it's almost like whether they're introverted or extroverted. They're more extroverted in their pursuit of that. They're more expressive of it, potentially. Whereas I think senses, it's like the old soul part of them is actually sitting on the inside, and because they're senses, they are more tuned to the sensory world, to the concrete, and those sorts of things. But they've got this old soul nature sitting underneath that other old souls or /intuitives, but I think just generally old souls need to engage on that level to almost awaken it within a sensor type personality. Because like I said, I think there's some senses that don't know that they're drawn to it, or that they are old souls, and so they actually need it's like two old souls need to come together for it to kind of manifest in a sense. So I think senses are a bit more, they're just more quiet about the deeper part of who they are. I think intuitives naturally are probably more able to articulate the deep versus senses. I think senses might have a depth and are drawn to the deep, but might not have the same level of skill at articulating that depth. However, I think they're able to understand it much better than they are able to articulate it. So I kind of imagine old soul senses as almost like people that have the ability and have the skill to understand and live in the deep, but almost have kind of lost sight. It's like they've lost touch with that depth, and they need somebody else that can speak that kind of language to reintroduce the sensor to that depth of understanding and meaning. That more abstract kind of way of viewing concrete things or things that go on in our lives and in the world. So I think what's sort of wonderful about senses that are actually old souls is their openness to the deep. They may not always fully grab onto it, but it's like they're kind of drawn to it and open to it at the same time. I think another characteristic of old soul senses is that not only are they often very helpful in practical ways, but I think they have the ability to be helpful in sort of life-changing ways. It's almost like that sensor part of them connected with the old soul sort of knowing part of them when they're engaging with another person, are able to sort of tap into like the potential or able to speak into people's lives in a very practical, in a surfacely practical way, but is actually connected to something quite deep within the person that they're assisting or they're helping. So anyway, I hope this video resonates with you guys out there. Open to your comments and feedback. If you're an old soul sensor, it would be great to hear your experience of what I'm talking about, and maybe what you're connecting with in this video. Just to reiterate, I'm a counselor and an MBTI practitioner. If you're interested in counseling or the MBTI services, feel free to visit my website. Link is in the description. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.